example, what I'll be doing or no. I'll copy this and keep it here. So like, the notes also will be getting clearer, right? Now you can see yesterday's session. I don't know, like, because my notepad is behaving very weird, where it is not saving any content that we discussed before. That is where I'll go with this one, where I'll be using WordWrap. And whatever we discussed, let me copy from here. So we started with the concept of what Angular form, where we have seen how we can perform the validation. And I have explained you how we can make use of the validation set form level. So did you guys practice? Any doubts in that? The last session? Any doubts in that? In the last session, any doubts? Are we not at practice? Then how we will get the doubts, right? Okay, but people who practice, I really appreciate. The people who not yet started, please do a practice, okay? Okay. So now in today's session, we will understand how to work with. You see, in the last session, what we have done, I told you what exactly a template-driven form. A template-driven form is nothing but where you can configure everything and handle everything within the template only. That is in the view level, or some people may call it as presentation level. Some people may call it as HTML level. And some people may call it as UI level or blah, 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 whatever. Now here, this is how it is going to be. Now, apart from that one, let's say, generally the purpose of why we supposed to handle everything over there only is because it follows that MVVM architecture where we have the model view and the view model, the combination together. Okay, model view and view model combinations that we are having. And these are available, as I told you, in a library that is forms module. And that forms module is available under Angular/forms that are available. Right? Angular/forms that are available and where you can have it. And also, to represent the form, I told you we will be using ng form. And to represent the input control, we use ng model here. And I have explained you some advantages and then a couple of things that we have seen. Now in today's session, we will understand yesterday, if you can remember, I have explained you few validations here. I have explained you few states of the form. Okay, few states of the forms, if you can see, those are going to be ng prestige, ng dirty, ng valid, ng invalid, and ng submitted. These are but these are going to be used at form level. But apart from that one, we have control level, okay, control level, or else input level, input state validation services are available here. Now what we are having, we have something like touched is available, and second one is going to be untouched is available, and then pristine is available, and then dirty is available, and then valid is available, and after that invalid is available, and then to display a proper message we have an object that is going to be errors object is available. Okay, errors object is also available. That means what we are having, we have like the touched, untouched, pristine, dirty, valid, invalid, and also we have an error object is available. Understand? And not only this, for everything, for every Angular service that provides, maybe it is touched, untouched, pristine, dirty, it also gives a different CSS classes. Those are going to be, I can say, ng touched is the class. That means when this is going to be, when user focus the control, then automatically it applies a class that is going to be ng touched. In the same way, we have another class ng untouched is available, and when it is going to be, when user not focus the control, then it will apply. Touched is available and untouched. These are the two services, and each service internally will be having what? Classes that are associated. Now the next one is going to be pristine is available. ng-pristine is the class. When the pristine will be, tell me, what is mean by a pristine here? Yesterday I have explained you what is mean by a pristine. What is mean by a pristine here? In Angular, what is pristine? Very good. So when user is not modify the input element, then the state is going to be pristine, and internally it comes with a class that is going to be ng-pristine. And at the same time, we have ng-dirty is also available. When it is going to be, when user modify the value of the input element, then that would be ng-dirty, I can say. And the next one is going to be, we have valid. I hope everyone knows about this. Valid, and at the same time, ng invalid is available. So these two are going to be based on that input control. Any validation control you can apply. That means we have the validations like min, max length, min length. Like that, we have different validations are available. Whenever if you can do that, then it would be applied. And finally, we have what? Error object is available. It comes with, error messages based on the error type. It comes with the error messages based on that error type. That's what we are having it. Clear na? So this is all about let's say template form, control level or input level, we can give like all these services. At form level, we can use these services that we are having. Now, what I just want to do, I'm going to create a new component. Okay. I'm going to create a new component and show you like how we can work with that particular one. So it's a complete validation. I'm including complete validation over there. Let's say I'll go to my app and then open with that integrated terminal, and there I can give a command prompt where I can give code space dot that. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'll be writing something like ng. Let's remove this. Okay. ng, G for generate, C for component, and the name of the component is going to be template form validation. Okay, template form validation, hyphen skip, hyphen test that what I can give. Now it creates a project file for us. Okay, the component is getting created. Now you can observe that, go to that app and we have template form validation. I'll be doing like, the basic sanity here. Let me copy this one and then go to that index.html. And in the index.html, let us give it. And after that, go to that app module and where I can give template form validation so that I can go with I'll be using that one. And then I'll run my application also. Let's run that application ngs-o. And then what is the name of the project? Let's go with project is equal to forms demo that what I can give. Right. Perfectly fine. Now we'll be using like, the implementation. Okay. We'll be going with the implementation. So before we are going to implement, as I told you, it comes with different classes, right? It comes with different classes and you can apply whatever the properties you wanted to apply it over there. Now I'm going to use, like, suppose for an input type, if it is going to be invalid, understand, I'm using what? A class that is ng invalid. Whenever the input control is going to be invalid, then what I can do is, and I'm going to give some border for that one. That is, let's say 1 pixel solid and red color I can give. Okay. Suppose let's say whenever my input control is going to be, if it is valid, there I can give 1 pixel solid green color border I can give, and following with I'm giving something like box shadow where I can give 2 pixels, 3 sides we can give, and then I'll be writing some green or whatever. Okay, green, that what I can. Suppose let's say the form itself it is invalid. We have the form ng invalid. Suppose if that is a case, and I'm going to give a background color as going to be, use some color. I'm using some RGB. Okay, let's say some dull color you can give 253 or 200, or else let's say 200 I can give. Yes, that's fine. Something or whatever. Some color you can give, but it should be somehow dumb. Now you can see I added like a couple of classes here in order to display if it is going to be an invalid and if it is valid, and if the form itself, if it is invalid, I'm going to display something over. Now it's time for implementing the component. How do I implement the component? First, I'll have a div where it contains the class that is going to be container-fluid, I can say. And after that, we'll be having a form where I can give margin 2 and at the same time padding 4. This is what I have given. Okay. And I'm removing like, that action attribute here. I'll be removing it over. And when it comes to the template driven form, whenever you people have created the form, we use what? a template reference variable, what variable we are using? How do we use? Tell me. How do we use? Tell me. Tell me, guys. Don't sit blank. We use what? A hash. Very good. We will be using what? Template reference variable. Any name you can give, but it should start with hash. I'll be using form register is equal to, I'll be using what? Ng form has to be given. So this is step number 1. It's very, very, very important. Create a template reference variable and then we give what? Ng form. And after that onwards, for every control, we will be using what? Let's say register user, that what I can give. And then I'll be taking a DL, I'll be taking a DT, and I'm asking the user to enter the username. Now, how we can create it? It's quite simple. I'll be using input type as going to be text. I can say name is username, that what I can give. And at the same time, we will be using an ng model. And then I go with another variable that is going to be username is equal to, let's say, ng model over there. Username is equal to ng model. Now what I want to do, I'm going to apply the validations on the top of it. So how I can do that? First validation required. Second validation is going to be, let's say, a minimum length is going to be, maybe let me give 4 characters, and the maximum length is going to be, let's say, 12 characters, that what I can give. Okay. Now tell me one thing. I have a question here. Until unless if the validations are become false, then we need not to. Okay. Then we need not to display that error messages, right? Tell me. Yes or no? Yes or no? Did you understand my question? That means until unless if user is not follow the validation rule that I have specified within my input control, then no need to perform no need to display anything. So that the one that what we are going to display, the messages generally has to be displayed only whenever user is not perform the validation, or else let's say not follow the validation, then only I have to display. So for that reason, what I can do, I'm going to take another DD here. Observe that I'm going to perform another DD, and for this particular one, I'm giving a class that is going to be, let's say, text-danger, that what I can give. Now, when this is going to be displayed, only only if the form is submitted, user will submit the form. Okay. So how I can come to know that whether it is submitted or not? Tell me. How I come to know that my form is submitted or not? Tell me. That is where I asked you to check yesterday. Now you can see whenever if a form is going to be submitted, yesterday I have explained you, if you could see, we have at the form level, submitted is available or not. There is a service, ng submitted service is available, and it comes with a property that is submitted. And what it will return, it's a Boolean value. It return true when the form is going to be submitted. That means at form level, we have a property that is submitted property will be available, which will take the responsibility of whether the form is submitted or not, that kind of information. So how I can do that one? To do that one, simply what I can do, I'll go to my HTML here. I have my form dot submitted. You see that there is a property that is submitted. When the form is submitted, and at the same time, my input control. What is my input control? Username dot, let's say, invalid. Suppose if my username is invalid, then only it has to display. Otherwise, let's see what happened. I will show you. Suppose I have a paragraph blindly. Maybe if I'll write username is required, if I'll be writing. Okay. Just assume that if I'll be copying this, and then if I'll be writing like in this way, now save this application, and then you can see user is not yet interacted with the form. Why should I display that error message? Is it happen in the practical environment? Tell me. Is it happened in the practical environment? Generally, no. First, user has to interact. Once if they interact, then we'll think of it. Like that error messages. So for that reason, what I can do, I supposed to display this message only when this happen. That is the reason. Now you can see if user is not giving like any data, and I don't have the submit button. Then when they try to submit, then I'm going to display the message. Understand? Then I'm going to display the message. Now here, how many validations I have applied here? Tell me. How many validations I have applied here? How many I have applied here, guys? Tell me. Around 3 validation. Required is 1, min length is 1, max length is 1. 3 validations I have applied. Now, for every error, I want to display a separate message. Because if I display something like error occur, just assume that if I display something like error occur, then how they would understand. Now, I will show you that even. Let's say I'll be having a button, okay, which comes with BTN and BTN hyphen. Maybe I can say primary, and then let's have register. Now you can see if I'll be writing here a simple paragraph, guys, observe that what happened. I'll be using a simple paragraph, error occur. Save it and then come back here. When I click on register, I'm able to get the message. But what message it is? That means what error or what validation we are violating. That means we need to have a specific message. If user is not entered any data, then specific message. If user is not entered, let's say 3 characters. If user has entered 3 characters below, different message. If user entered, let's say 10 characters above, different message. Like that we will be getting, right? Am I right or wrong? Tell me. Generally, that is how. The validation message should be in a descriptive manner. So in order to do that one, now we use control validation. That is where the today's session is completely all about. Now what I can do, I'll be using a paragraph tag here, and I'm going to display this paragraph. Okay, some paragraph, whatever, like any tag you can take. I'm going to display this paragraph only if username dot, okay, username dot, suppose if it contains an error, okay, error dot, and that error is also going to be required. Suppose if my error is going to be a required, then what I can do, I'm going to display a message, username is required, or else like mandatory, that what I can give. What is the error? Okay. If username dot error is that object, and then give a question mark, Okay. That means if it contain an error of required, then this message. Like that, what I can do, I can create how many I want. So that suppose if that error is going to be, let's say from min length, then what I can do, I'm going to write username must contain 4 characters. And at the same time, I'll copy that and then paste it here. In place of min length, I'll be giving a max length over there. Now here, username must contain 12 characters. Must contain more than 4 and also less than 12. That is blindly I want to display anything. Now you can see if user has entered something and first what happened, user is not giving any data, so that required will execute always. Now I entered some data, maybe let's say yes, I have given. Now you can see username should contain more than 4 characters. When I give string K, then nothing is there. But when I'm giving like more than that, even it is not allowing, but if we can give more than that, then it will be a problem for us. Clear na? How to do the validation? Tell me. Clear or not? Tell me. Okay. Now, the next one is going to be, I'm not completing everything, guys. Okay. You people can try. What I am thinking, I just wanted to add something like, for the mobile number. Now I'll be taking a DT here. And for this DT, I am giving, let's say, mobile. And I'm using a DD. And in this DD, I'll be having an input type as going to be text, that what I can say. And what are all the things you wanted to have? Let's say required. And at the same time, this should be having ng model and give some name for that. That is mobile I can give is equal to ng model, that what I can give. And here it is going to be, the name is going to be, let's say, mobile. That's it. Generally, mobiles you can take, it should accept only digits 30 to 10 characters, right? Yes or no? Mobile number means anywhere you go, mobile number will be having 10 characters only, and those characters also only digits that what it accepts. Now, Shrikant, do we have like any kind of predefined error service that are available in order to handle it? The answer is no. We don't have anything. If that is a case, like how I can do that? To do that one, simply what I can do is I am going to use another one, that is the pattern. Now, what is pattern here? A pattern is a regular expression. A pattern is a regular expression which can be used to validate the data format. And if the user entered data is exactly matched with the pattern, understand, if the user entered data is exactly matched with the pattern, then it will return true, else it will return false. Now, what pattern has to be given? And I'm giving a simple pattern here where it should start with, maybe I can say +91. I'm just writing like this. And after that, it should contain a digit, which is 10 characters. That's it. Did you understand what I'm doing here? I'm using a I'm using a regular expression pattern, where the regular expression pattern should accept only 10 digits. If user has anything enter, then I won't allow them. That is how it is going. Okay, that is how it is going to. Then what I can do, and I'm going to display that error messages corresponding to that. How I can do that? How I can do that? I'll be using a DD. Same thing again. I'll be writing class equal to, let's say, text hyphen danger. And at the same time, when the messages has to be displayed, whenever my form is invalid, and then whenever if user has submitted, then only I have to display that error message. Now, how to display that error message? Maybe you can take a paragraph or whatever, any tag you can take. Now I'm taking this one. Now this time I'm performing the validations on what? Very good. Mobile. So that I'll be using if mobile dot errors dot required. Then what I can do? Mobile number is required. Mobile number is required, I can say. And another paragraph that what I can take. Another paragraph that what I can take. And here also the same thing. I am using ng if is equal to mobile dot errors dot. Understand? Now what we wanted to perform, it's a pattern. See, one thing I'm telling you, if this block is executed mean above, like it is verifying only, right? Yes or no? Because this is a parent block. DD is a parent block. There only I'm validating. If the username, sorry, in place of username, I'll be giving mobile. Okay. I'll be giving the mobile. I'm sorry. It's my mistake. Very good, Purna. It's my mistake. I wrongly understood. Okay. Now you can see we have the pattern. Now you can see mobile number must be digits. I can display. Now you can see that I'll come to here. When user is not entered anything, it is showing me like that. When user, let's say, entered one character, then it is showing me like this. When user has given that, then fine. Suppose, let's say, if user is not giving any value, let's say 19, suppose I'll be writing something like this. When I give, let's give something like that, mobile number must be the digits, and it should follow like, that 10 character, that one. And before that, like what I can do, and I'm giving, let's say, +9. See that when I give +91, now it is okay. But if I'm not giving +91 and not having 10 digits or more than that, then it would be an error. That is how it is going. Understood? Yes or no? Hello? 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 Okay. What is your assignment is going to be? Prepare an example by keeping like whatever you want. Okay. Whatever you want, you can take. Take some registration form. Maybe let's say Naresh IT student registration. Maybe I can open like, the student registration form. And here you can see, this is how it is going to be. What are the things we are having? First name is available. Last name is available. After that, email is available. And then phone number and mode of training. We have like around 3 or 4. And from which state and for which course you have came. Understand? Now, this is the one that what you people have to complete by your work, by following all the validation. Okay, na? Okay. I'm sharing you that link also in the group. What you need to do is take somewhat more. Everywhere you go, the same kind of approach that we are following, whatever we have written, right? So that is where just follow the same thing from your end. So this is how we will be working with a template driven forms. Okay. Vishal, so if you don't need the reactive forms, then I can directly show you how do we do everything. You people don't need the reactive forms. Tell me. If you don't need, then I'll definitely a happy person, right? I'll directly show you how to connect with DB from here on. That you can learn. Then we have, for everything we have some time. Please be patient. The problem is, people are asking based on their requirement. But here we have around 500 people. How I can fulfill? No, I saw few people more. That is well. Vishal, not even you. Yeah, that's well. Okay. So the next one is going to be what we are going to discuss. The next one is going to be, I'll come to here. I'll close other. So here it would be model driven or reactive forms in Angular. So what exactly it is? Model driven or reactive forms. So here in these forms, we can configure, okay, and manipulate, okay, we can configure and manipulate data at controller level. Now, within bracket, I'm writing, and I say about the controller, and that is going to be a component level, I can say. That means so far, in the previous example, what we have done, everything we handled it where? At the view level itself. That means only at the view level, we can handle everything, and we have done. Okay, done and dusted. But now, when it comes to, let's say, model driven or reactive form, there we can handle everything at the controller level. So that means here it will be very clean. Here we don't have any, okay, here we don't have any interaction, or else let's say any direct interaction with view and model, and the interaction should be happen, and the interaction should be happen only through the controller. That means the direct interaction is not available. It should be always a mediator is available. That mediator is what we call it as a controller, and that controller is nothing but the component, I can say. Now, Srikanth, what is the advantage here? So that advantage is going to be, it is a clean code. That means model code should be written in some place, U code written in some place. Okay. So like that it is going to be. And the second advantage is going to be, it is UI is completely lightweight, so that rendering is also would be easy. That means in the previous case, what happened? Everything I supposed to write it in my template only. That means everything I have written in my HTML only. So that is the reason what happened at the time of render, then it became a problem for me. That means it's a problem for me. So for that reason, what I can do here is, I don't want to write anything in my HTML. Rather, I'm going to write everything. I'm going to write what? Everything at controller level. HTML will contain only the UI logic. That's it. HTML will be having what? Only the UI logic. Did you understand? Tell me. Yes or no? Yes or no? Hello? Hello, hello, hello. Is anyone there? Okay, very good. Right, very good. Right. Okay. So the next one is going to be, okay, next one is going to be, it is available in a module that is a reactive forms module, which is available, in @Angular/forms only, I guess. Yes, Angular/forms only. I think so. Which is available, but this module I know, because of the IntelliSense I forgot actually. Nothing apart from that. Okay. Now, to work with this one, we should know about the three classes. So in order to work with reactive forms, we have three classes. So first one is going to be form group. Second one is going to be form control. Third one is going to be form builder. Okay. The first one is going to be the form group. Second one is the form control. And third one is going to be third one is going to be the form builder. Now, what is form group here? Form group, it is used to create a form element. I can say. When it comes to the form control, it is used to create an input element. Whenever if you wanted to create an input element, there you can go with this particular one. Now, what is form builder? It is a service, I can say. It is a service. Now, when it is going to be helpful, whenever if we have a complex forms, then we use this. Simply, that's it. That means whenever if you people are having a complex form, then we may go with this particular one. Shrikant, how do I need to write it? Simply, I'll write the syntax here. Same thing, you can see it in example. Now I'll be writing a simple thing here. Let's say, you can see I'm going to create simply public. You can give any name here. Form register is equal to, I'm using a class that is going to be form group. Okay, form group. And in this particular group, what are all the elements you wanted to have, you can write. Maybe let's say input name one colon new. I'll be using something like form control, new form control. And here what I can do, and I'm going to give the value. And also this is the initial value. I can say initial value, and also what are all the validations you wanted to maintain, you can do that one. I'll copy this and then go with the second one, and input name 2 is equal to initial value and validation. So, okay, Shrikant, this is like at where component level. Then we have to bind the form group and the controls to the UI, like how we can find it, you can see there. And I'm going to use something like this. I'll be taking a form. Okay, let us close the form here. And for this form, I'm using form group is equal to, with what name we have here, with what name we have created form register na, give that particular name to this. Okay, this is the one. And same way, we will be having an input. Okay, I'll be taking an input here. Let's have an input type equal to, I'll be giving some text here. Now for this one, we created a control now. Now for that also, let us have form control name is equal to whatever the name we have given, you people can give it here. That's it. Understood? Clear now? Clear now? See there. This is how it is going to be. Clear or any doubts? I will show you a simple example, and once if it is done, we will be using what? Some complex example as well based on the requirement. Okay. I'll go with a simple example first. Later, I will show you a complex example and also how we can use, like, the form builder. Seems like today is not going to be completed. We will take this session tomorrow also. Guys, tomorrow we have session. I know it's Sunday, but still we have the session. Please be available, okay? Because tomorrow we will complete, like, the forms total without having the pending. And then next session, we will start with the integration again. We'll go back to the RxJS and we'll see how can we integrate and all, database and all, okay? Just to make a note of it, tomorrow also we have session, right? Let me show you an example how we can generate. I'll go to my app folder here. Open with integrated terminal. Let's have the command prompt ng gc, okay, reactive form hyphen skip hyphen test. Yeah, timing is same. Only with Angular, yes, you can get, but you should know somehow good knowledge on UI also. Simulation. UI knowledge is important. HTML, CSS, that knowledge is important. Okay. Right. Now you can see a reactive form. Now we will be understanding a reactive form here. I'll go to my HTML, TS. Okay, right. So how we can do that one? First thing, in reactive form, what is the first one? Create the form here. We are not going to start it in the HTML. Rather, we will start from the controller. So how I can do that? Public. Okay, public. You can give any name. Maybe I can say registration form I can give is equal to, here what I can do, new form group I can say, new form group I can give. Okay, new form group I can give. Now it is basically a form group where it contains the elements, where it contains the element. Each input element is available in this particular place. How to create that input element? Now, what are all the inputs you wanted to, how you can create? Now I'll be using something like username. And this is what an input control, that is the form control, colon new form control. And there you can see it comes with a different thing. First one is the value. Second one is the validation, that what we want to do. I'll be giving the initial value. Any value if you wanted to give, you can give. Otherwise, keep it as an empty. Suppose let's say I'll be writing the initial value as going to be Srikanth, and second one is going to be the validation. I don't want to perform at this moment the validation. So I'll be giving like this. And second one is the age, new form control. You can give the age as an empty or else 0. And the third one is going to be, let's say, mobile, new. Let's go with the form control, and I'm giving some empty value here. That's it. Like that, anything like what you wanted to have, you can create those many. Okay, now you can create those many. Now, once if it is done, let's go to the reactive. And before that, what I can do, I'm going to copy this and then make it as going to be the start. Save it. And at the same time, module, save it. Right, perfect. Now the reactive form is executing. Now I'll go to here and create the HTML. So how do I do that one? Simply, let's say I have a div where it comes with a class that is a container hyphen fluid, I can say. And I'm giving a simple H2. Let's say register user, that what I can give. And we will be taking a form. As I told you, we'll be having a form here. Now, for the form, what I can do is I'm going to use an attribute that is going to be form group. But you can see when I'm giving the form group, there it is throwing me an error. What is that error? Read it once. What is that error? What I missed here? Tell me. Same error we are getting for NG model also. Then like I'm doing something. What I supposed to do? What I missed here? Very good. That means as I told you, we should include the forms module. But I am working with reactive form, so that go to the module. Already forms module is there. What I need to include here, reactive forms module. Sorry, reactive forms module. That what I can say. Understood. I used what? Reactive form module. Now you can see a different error. Type undefined is not given. So that what I can do, I'll be using a registration form. Now you can see we are able to get the IntelliSense feature here. That means implementation would be very easy if you can go with a reactive form when compared with, let's say, model driven, the regular form, template driven. Model driven forms are very easy for us to implement. And then let's say I'll be having a data list, and there I have a DT username. I can ask where I have a DD, and I'm going to have an input type as going to be the text. And here, what I can do, no need to use, let's say, an NG model, no need to use like two-way data binding or blah, 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 blah. Anything is not required. What you can do, we'll be using form control name I can give is equal to form control name, and with what name we have here, you can just give it over there. I'll be giving, let's say, username. With what name you have created, give exactly the same name. I'll be going here and then giving it there. And at the same time, let's have the DT, and then we have an age, so that I can give an age. And after that, we'll be having a DD, and there I can give an input type as going to be the number, and at the same time, I'll be writing form control name I can give is equal to, let's say, age I can. And after that, we'll be having a DT, and then I'll be writing something like mobile is available. So that let's write the mobile, and I'll be giving a DD where I can have, input type, whatever you wanted to give, you can give it over there. Now here you can see form control name is equal to mobile. Now when user has submitted, I just wanted to share the data to the user. So how I can do that? Maybe let's say I'll be writing a button. Okay, when user click on register button, I want to submit. Either you can write the click function here, remaining things are same, or else what you can do, here you can write, I'm going to use the submit. When user submitting it, I'm going to write something like register. Okay, how I can do that one? Let's say registration form dot, we have a property that is value property is available. Now I don't have here. Let's go to the application, and then maybe I can get the data, and I'll be using console.log. Okay, I am going to write JSON.stringify the data that what we are getting, and I'm displaying it over there. And here it is of type any icons. Now save it, and now you can see this is how it is. Right now when I right click and go to the inspect section, and where in the console, you see this is how right now we don't have anything. But when I click on register, now you see username Srikanth. That is that initial value S0 mobile empty. When user has changed to 33, and I am giving my mobile number, and then click on register, now you can see I'm able to get that particular object. Clear now? But again, I'm telling you, this is like, the very basic form. This is like very basic form. We will be creating what? More complex form with the help of this one. That means how do we create a somehow nested form or something that I can explain. Done. Any questions here? Any questions, guys? Please ask any questions if you can have. Here also we have the validation. Okay, we will understand how to work with, let's say, form builder. Okay, and how we can do the validation part. And if everything is done, then I'll start the new concept, that is routing. The main difference is going to be template driven forms. Everything we supposed to write it in the template. Model driven forms comes with some code separation. And the template driven forms are most of the time, those are like, the static form. But if it is model driven, those are dynamic forms. Template driven, we cannot use it for like, asynchronous operation. Model driven, we can use it for async operations. These are the difference. If the requirement is too small, where you can have very limited of input element and those forms also not going to be changed frequently, then you can go with the template driven. Otherwise, it's better to go with model driven. Line number 16 and 17. 16 is function, 17 is console.log. What is you need exactly? I created here like, a function, right? Bharat, when user submitted the form, I'm executing a function that is registered. That is what I defined here. No, I'll ask Malik to create today itself. Don't worry. Everyone will get. If anything, if any deviation, I'll definitely post it in the group. You don't need to worry about it. Okay. Line number 10. Line number 10 is that is what I told you. Whenever if you are created a form, the form name should be given and then form should be form group. In like here we have three classes are used. Form group is a class used to create the form element, and form control is used to create the control name. Generally, I use control name, and we have the third one. That is form builder. We'll be discussing that tomorrow. Okay, right. Give me one more minute for me. Anyhow, like whatever we discussed, I'll update it there also, so that we all are in like same. I'll copy this. Paste it here. And also I'm uploading like, all that example related to the project. So D drive, full stack Angular example, project. It's all about like, the forms demo. Same timing tomorrow. You will get rest, Akash. Don't worry. I'll give you good rest to you. Okay, to everyone. Please attend tomorrow.